Welcome to another video upload from Aspie with Attitude. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is David. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I have autism, speech difficulty, which is speech impairment, and speech impairment, I have Asperger's syndrome, and that's why I'll call myself an Aspie. And for those who are watching this video content for the very first time, what I do in this video content is to discuss life hacks, to discuss facts and politics affecting the worldwide autism community, and also I like to discuss autism acceptance and autism awareness, since I'm one of the many voices in the worldwide autistic community, and also just to share my passion and my creativity and my obsessions in this entire channel. So I filmed this on the 16th of August 2021 on Monday evening. So the point of this video is I'm going to talk about how I actually did manage a meltdown kind of like in the last weekend, where I actually got stressed out and very frustrated. Since at that time when I was making this video, Melbourne was going through a 6th coronavirus lockdown, which has irritated many people across Melbourne with all these ongoing lockdown laws, since that we've got a spread of a deadly Delta strain virus, which is actually affecting our well-being and other people's health, since that Sydney's actually been going through the worst ever pandemic dealing with the Delta strain coronavirus. It was only just over 2 weeks ago the 5th lockdown was actually gone, and so I did have this beautiful weekend where I was lucky to film this old quarry site, which I'll show you a clip right now for Walk With Me number 11, which was uploaded on the 13th of August 2021, and this is why I visited the quarry reserve in Frenchy Gully, just showing this old quarry site. So I was just extremely lucky that I actually got to make this video. And now, that was from the 14th of August and 15th of August 2021. We had another beautiful weekend just like 2 weeks ago. It's when I wanted to film another Walk With Me video. Well, this time, exploring another homestead site. And I'm going to show you a clip, and it's not far away from where I actually filmed Walk With Me number 7 for episode 147. And what you can see in this clip is, I'm just showing you that there's a cluster of flowering plum trees. You'll see the ones with the red leaves in the centre, and the other side, ones with the green leaves. So anyway, that's what's going on in this video content. Well, as it happens though, the one with the red leaves would have the pink flowers, and the one with the green leaves will have the white flowers, which actually looks extremely awesome for a nice, beautiful, wild flowering garden in Lysterfield Lake Park. So that was just such a perfect day to actually capture this moment, despite that it was a sunny day. And what really happened on that day was, due to health regulations advice and the orders that was made by the Victorian state government, and the Delta strain virus being at large, and how bad the pandemic was in Melbourne, we were asked that we all had to stay home. And however it is though, we weren't allowed to travel more than 5 kilometres away from our own homes, considering that this homestead site was about 15 to 20 kilometres away from where I lived. So it was against the law to even go out and film there. And if I had failed to comply to this COVID-19 lockdown laws, and if I was seen by police, so it may have come to the interest with the police and the park rangers to actually slap me with a $1,652 fine, which means it's just not worth getting that amount of fine if I'm going to make a video that's going to actually have 50 views eventually in the future. And what the main meltdown trigger was that, I'm talking about people who don't care. They'll just pretend that the virus doesn't exist, and they'll just go in the community, maybe not wear a mask, and not know they're infected, and they're sort of like spreading the infection around the community. And so like those people just don't care. The only reason why they probably don't care is just to make it easier for themselves to deny and not recognise the responsibility that they're putting a lot of strain on people's mental well-being. And also plus, if they spread the virus, if it gets on some individuals, a lot of individuals have died from it, and it's been happening in Sydney for the last 2 months. What was so special about what I did in special effects was with the plum blossoms, like I really wanted to make a video, but I couldn't do it, so that also caused me a meltdown trigger. And talking about meltdowns, the first time I've mentioned about meltdowns in this video channel was for episode 25, which I actually uploaded this way back on the 27th of October 2018, called Autism and Meltdowns. And also, plus I pretty much repeat myself and said that again in episode 136, which is only almost 12 months ago on the 25th of September 2020, when I did say no to meltdown videos. Just in case if you're watching any of my video contents for the very first time, and that's the first time that you're seeing any of my video uploads, before I get to the main point and the main purpose of this video content for episode 192, the first thing you need to know is understanding the 3 main stages when having an autistic meltdown. As it happens, stage number 1 is the panic mode. That's when the meltdown actually begins for an autistic individual. And stage 2 is always the rage mode. And what happens in the rage mode is, that's actually the middle of a meltdown, and it just gets to its peak once it comes to having an autistic meltdown. And what goes up must come down to the final stage, which is stage 3, which is called the recovery mode. So that's when an autistic individual finally calms down, gets out of a meltdown or autistic burnout for recovery, like looking for a conclusion or justification to what the panic and the rage is all about. That's what having an autistic meltdown is all about. It's coming just 3 different stages, whether it might be anxiety, stress, not getting what they want, getting frustrated, or just having a sensory overload. And that's all you need to know. And I think it's just time to get to the main point of this video, and why did I make this video content explaining autistic meltdowns. So what I'm going to bring up in this video is, first, you just get into what's called a panic mode. Okay, the panic was that there wasn't a cloud in the sky, it was a beautiful day to go outside, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't go out and film all these flowers, so there was a panic. And my worry was that once the 6th lockdown for coronavirus is over, then that means most likely that the flowers will be gone, and it'll just be like the trees as you see back in episode 147 once again. So it just defeats the whole purpose of actually going there in the end. So like, it was just a real meltdown trigger, and what I actually had to try and control was stage 2, which is the rage mode. So like, it was just all about controlling the rage mode, which is actually being caused by frustrations. So like, I did talk about autism frustrations back in episode 128 on the 7th of August 2020, which was 12 months ago. And so what I mentioned about autism and frustrations is that children who are on the autism spectrum are more vulnerable to having a meltdown through frustrations. Since I'm 41 years old at the time when I made this video, it's just all about just trying to figure out strategies how to actually really control of the rage mode. And once you sort of like take control of the rage mode, it's all about just trying to pull yourself away from all that stress. And it's more of a autistic burnout than just being a meltdown. And it's just a frustration on how my weekend was a wasted opportunity to go and make this video. And then I was able to go to stage 3, which is a recovery mode. So like, what made me think about a recovery mode is that pretty much when I did most of the walk with me videos, well, I still had the chance. So like, I've got to think about it too. There's always a next year. Now today's Monday on the 16th of August 2021. What I did on the way home from work is I did look at the plum trees, trying to take notes when the flower's at its highest. So I can actually plan a weekend, maybe in 12 months time, to really make that video and just show you this beautiful walled garden. And the only big problem is though, like, then the anxiety gets to you. And the trouble with anxiety is, since this is Australia, we're going to have to go through a long summer. And I'm just worried that the bushfire is going to wipe out that homestead site and not even get a chance to even film this beautiful walled garden in Lysterfield Lake Park at all. Well, I just do know that a bushfire in 2009 did wipe out one homestead site, which I'll show you in the future one day. And I'm talking about the one you've already seen in episode 147, and this is another one I really wanted to show you on the day when I'd love to film the video if we didn't have a lockdown at all. So like, I'm actually just scared of bushfires, so like, I'm actually glad that we're going through the La Nina effect. So like, we might have a bit of a wet summer, but if we can have a bit of wet summer, that'll actually sort of like, at least it'll just keep the garden a bit watered. So like, there's nothing to really fear then. So like, what if the fires did wipe out that homestead site before I even got to film this beautiful garden? Like, they'll absolutely make me feel depressed. So like, next month, I definitely got to do another video on autism and depression, because I did this for the first time for episode 30, which I only uploaded this on the 30th of November 2018. So that's actually just a bit of an old episode here. So anyway, that's how I've managed my meltdown. So it just turned out to be a burnout more than a meltdown. I did experience the panic mode as soon as that was the stage 1, and stage 2 was the rage mode. When I was experiencing the rage mode, I'd jump straight into stage 3, which is just a recovery mode. So like, I just hope people will just probably understand that it can wait for a while, because I've done plenty of other walk with me videos that's yet to be released, since I pretty much do it once every 8th or 11th upload. And it's just been very, very hard with the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and the ongoing lockdown laws, and having to comply to the laws and the health regulations and the rules. But anyway, just as the way things are, this is a fact of life at the moment. So I just thought this is a video just to sort of get off my chest, just to really vent it out. And that's the purpose of making these YouTube videos, where I can just actually really vent. And if you really like what I'm doing here, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel, Aspie with Attitude. And also, don't forget to use the notification bell to keep up to date with Aspie with Attitude. And also, please like and share this video content if you think it's just worth for other people to see and everything like that too. I just felt like just making a video about how I've managed this meltdown trigger and how I've actually tried to control it. Just a bit of a burnout and just getting a recovery and just hoping that we don't have any bushfires in Lysterfield and hoping that there's no lockdown in August next year. So like, I'll just see how it goes though. Like 2022 is going to be full of surprises, and just the way I always finish it off is, thanks for watching, thanks for listening to Aspie Attitudes, peace and respect, and see you next time.